Episode 8. The Dark Can Be a Friend. Part 2. The Turn. Verse 2. The fire dies, the hunger stays, but I don't curse the empty days. I've learned the dark can be a friend, a place where wanting has an end. No answers come, no voices call, just quiet hands that hold it all. I'm not alone, so I won't flee. A truth I've found, it's changing me. The fire dies. I want to start there because I think we misread that line if we aren't careful. The fire dying is not resolution. It is not the moment everything gets better. It is not the hearth finally lighting, the warmth finally arriving, the cold finally giving way to something that feels like home. The fire that dies here is the fire of want, the burning, consuming, exhausting heat of desire that has been driving everything. The obsession with the object of envy, the constant measuring, the frantic doing, the accusation pointed at God. All of that burning, and it goes out. Not because the hunger goes away, the hunger stays. This is the line I want you to hold on to, because it is doing something very specific and very important. The fire dies and the hunger stays, which means these are two different things. The fire was the desire, the hunger is something else. And the distinction between those two words is the center of this entire episode. Desire and hunger are not the same thing. We treat them as though they are, as though the want and the need are one thing, two words for the same experience. But they aren't. Hunger is the ache of the lack, real, present, physical in its own way. The body and soul of a person registering that something is missing and needs to be filled. Desire is what the hunger reaches for, the direction the hunger points, the object it identifies and moves toward and will not stop pursuing until something interrupts it. What this verse describes, and what I want to try to put words around carefully, because it is one of the most precise and honest things the song does, is the experience of those two things coming apart. In the dark, away from the fire of want and need and the consuming heat of envy, away from the object, away from the measuring, away from the comparison, something changes. God does something, holds something, works in something. And the result is this. The hunger is still there. The lack is still real. The ache is still present. But the desire, the reaching toward the object, the desperate pull toward the thing that envy had identified as the answer, that changes. The hunger stays, but the wanting of that specific thing begins to loosen. The object loses its power. The poison that the hunger was driving you toward, you can see it now for what it is, and you don't want to drink it. But you still hunger. And here is where the tension is born. I need to say something about this tension that I think is easy to gloss over and important not to. This place, the hunger without the desire, the ache without the reaching, the lack without the consuming pull toward what envy promised would fill it. This place is not peaceful. I don't want to romanticize it. I don't want to describe it as some quiet, luminous, spiritual resting place that you'll be glad you found. It hurts. The tension causes real pain, deep pain. The kind that is hard to sit inside of without wanting to move, to fix, to reach back towards something, anything, that gives the hunger a direction again. I am writing this from inside it. Right now, not from the other side of it, looking back with the benefit of resolution and distance. I still struggle against hunger I do not want. The tension is still present and still real and still costly. And I say that not to discourage you, but because I think it matters that this is honest. That you don't come to this place expecting ease and then judge yourself when you find pain instead. Please don't judge yourself for where you are in this, wherever that is. Because here is what I have come to believe about the tension, about the specific, costly, hard-to-hold experience of hungering for something you can no longer desire in the way you once did. The tension is not evidence that something has gone wrong. The tension is evidence that something is going right. It is the sign of God working within you, burning the false things away. And fire, even the purifying kind, especially the purifying kind, hurts while it is burning. That is not a malfunction. That is the process. The pain of the tension means something is being changed. The very fact that you can feel the hunger and not run toward the poison, that you can hold the ache without the old consuming desire, means that God has already done something in you, something that wasn't there before. The burning is working. The dark is doing what the dark is meant to do. No answers come, no voices call. This is the sound of that tension. Not crisis, not accusation, not the burning of part one, just silence. The specific silence of a person who has stopped reaching for the wrong thing and has not yet found the right one, who is in the in-between, who is hungry and holding it, and sitting in the pain of the holding. Just quiet hands that hold it all. I keep coming back to the word quiet. Not strong hands, though they are strong. Not rescuing hands. Not hands that immediately fix the hunger or explain the silence or hand over the resolution. Quiet hands. Present hands. Hands that hold without speaking, without explaining, without rushing the process. There is a kind of presence that doesn't need to perform itself, that is simply there, in the dark, in the silence, in the unresolved tension of a hunger that no longer has a wrong object and hasn't fully found the right one yet. That is what God does here. He holds. Not loudly, not dramatically, not with the kind of presence that gives you something to point to and say, "There, that's when it changed." Just quietly, in the dark, with hands that are steady in the silence and present in the pain. I'm not alone, so I won't flee. This is the hinge of the whole verse. Because the impulse, the deeply human, completely understandable impulse, when you are in unresolved tension and the pain of it is real, is to get out, to resolve it by any available means, to reach back toward the old object, because at least the burning was familiar, to flee the dark, because the dark is uncomfortable, and the tension is painful. And the hunger without direction is something we were not designed to enjoy. We run from it. Most of us, most of the time, run from it. And there is no judgment in that. The running makes sense. The pain is real. And the relief the running offers, however temporary, is also real. I understand the running from the inside. But the reason not to flee, The only reason that has ever actually held me in the tension when everything in me wanted out is not a theological argument. It is not a promise of what's coming. It is not the assurance that the pain will end soon. It is simpler than all of that and more profound. I'm not alone. That's it. In the dark, in the hunger, in the pain of the tension, there is someone here. Quiet hands. Present. Not fixing, not explaining, not rushing. Just here. And that presence, that single, unadorned, undramatic presence, is enough to stay for. Not comfortable, not yet, but enough. A truth I've found. It's changing me. Read this slowly. It is tentative. The pause before "it's changing me" is doing real work. This is not someone who has arrived, who has the full picture, who can give you the complete account of what God is doing in them. This is someone who has found one true thing. I'm not alone. And is reporting, carefully, that this one true thing, held in the dark, in the tension, in the pain, is beginning to change something. Not everything, not yet, not without cost, but something. This is what sanctification actually looks like from the inside most of the time. Not the dramatic transformation, not the clean before and after. The slow, quiet, unglamorous, genuinely painful work of God, holding a person in a tension they didn't choose and can't rush. And that person staying in it, not because it is easy, but because they are not alone in it. And discovering that staying, just not fleeing, is itself the change. The hunger is still there. It may be there for a long time. Some things we will not have in this life, and the ache of that is real and does not always resolve cleanly. But the desire, the consuming, comparing, accusing desire, that is changing. Slowly, painfully, held in quiet hands. In the dark that is becoming, against all expectation, something like a friend. Not because the dark is comfortable, because you are not in it alone.
Hunger stays, but I don't curse the empty days. I've learned the dark can be a friend, a place where